Does my hair look good? Of course it looks good. That's Colin.
That's Miles.
And this is the back end of a cat. Oh, no,
It's
no,
me.
now it's the front end of a cat. Now I know we're recording. And now that's his back eye. And this is the Colin and Miles show. Did you see that? What an idiot.
This is our 20th episode of our professionally recorded episodes.
By professionally, we mean we stick Hank here behind a computer and, well, he has at it. And so that is why it takes so long to produce in between. See, it's, keeping him on task as well. He's a cat and he doesn't have opposable thumbs. But anyway, besides that,
We have a few topics to talk about today. Really, the reason that it takes so long in between is because we have boring lives and I don't want to record until we have a lot of things to talk about.
but we are working on
And
a good amount.
And our computer that housed all this stuff is acting rude.
Yeah, rude's a good description. So we got to fix, but now it doesn't want to. And oddly enough, while we do own a media company, we use an iMac from 2014.
Yes, but it stopped.
But yeah, it's been good
working.
for a while.
It stopped working like 3 or 4 years after we got it. So I'm calling BS on that.
Yeah,
Your desktop should work longer than 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, something to do with a power supply or something. But anyways, hopefully we'll get that back up and running. Until then, this lovely MacBook of hers will have to suffice.
Yes.
But in the interim, while we've been gone, we've been keeping up with a few shows, when we can, and one of them, which is
Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus.
cue the hello there.
Hello there.
So this came out a while ago, but it took us.
I didn't even know actually it came out last year.
No, earlier this year.
Or earlier this year. I didn't even realize it had come out until several episodes afterward. Isn't that right?
I don't know. I think I told you about it.
Yeah. But anyways, I was happy that they were all out and we could binge them.
Yes. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi is a mini-series, and I didn't have high expectations because, one, I'm not really a Star Wars fan, regardless of my BB-8 tattoo. I just really like BB-8. But I really, really, really liked Obi-Wan.
No.
It was so good, and at the end of every episode, I was like, I want to watch the next one, but usually we didn't because it was too late, and they were like hour-long episodes. So.
Well, also the little girl, Princess Leia, and her little fiery attitude was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But it definitely connected a lot of things that I don't think, obviously weren't seen before, but I think gave a better grasp as to, the A New Hope.
Yeah, so it happens 10 years after.
Anakin kills a bunch of kids.
No, it happens 10 years after the last movie. So what? I forgot the name of it.
You're talking about
Revenge of the Sith?
Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
Okay, it happens 10 years after that.
Yeah,
and
that's when Anakin kills the kids.
Okay, well, maybe if they haven't seen that movie,
Oh, well.
you just spoiled something. And then.
Well, if they know that, Anakin's going to become Darth Vader, it's a safe bet they know Darth Vader's a bad dude.
Okay, and then it happens 9 years before A New Hope, so it's like right in the middle of those two movies.
And apparently, Obi-Wan Kenobi does a lot of graying during that time. You know, is if you take him from the end of Obi-Wan to that time, yeah, considerable amount of graying.
Well, we could say it's because of all the training he's going to do with Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Or we could just suspend disbelief, as they keep saying on the Talk Ville podcast, which we're not. We'll talk about that in a second. But also, watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show, and because during Labor Day weekend, TNT played some of the Star Wars movies, and then I was like, oh, we should watch these again because we haven't seen them for a good 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are partway through that journey, and I guess I do kind of like Star Wars, even though it's hilarious. You should you should record me because I'm asking all these questions like, well, is this a rebel ship? Is this? And I sound like a moron, even though I am a Trekkie, so I am a nerd sometimes. I just can't get behind all the Star Wars stuff.
No, well, so I think that there's a difference between Star Wars and Star Trek. Star Trek, being nerdy, and then Star Wars being basement nerd. So.
And because I've been a Trekkie since I was 2, so I have been watching that for 30 years.
Yeah. Well, I think it's enjoyable watching, like I said earlier, New Hope, because it provides a lot more context to it, and you can assign a lot more emotion to, like, especially like C-3PO and R2-D2's interactions.
Oh yes, I really like R2-D2 now too. He's very cute, very smart.
He's trying to knock these things off the desk. Table. Desk, table,
and
umbrella, same thing.
This also means that I have to eventually watch The Mandalorian, which I was avoiding.
Baby Yoda.
I don't need to get attached to another...
It's called the Baby Yoda Show.
I don't need to get attached to another character. I don't need that.
Grogu is the best character. Well, moving on to Talkville, which... Did we mention this in the last?
Yes, we said it was beginning.
Oh, it's beginning. So we're, how many episodes in?
12.
12 episodes into Talkville, which is essentially Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor, and Tom Welling, who played Clark Kent in the upbringing series of Clark Kent, Smallville. And so they call it Talkville, humorously.
Yes.
Which I think the show is good, and it could be better. And it seems like they are lazy.
And they want to rush through the show, kind of.
Yeah.
And they're not very organized, like the office ladies.
Well, and just to do a comparison, and I have a lot of respect for how much research the office ladies do. It seems almost monotonous, like them addressing, this is how the set design happened, this is how X, Y, and Z happened. But by going through all those steps and talking to the producers, is they remember a lot of things. And they, can more so identify with what they were thinking through the episode. And mind you, The Office Ladies covers a show that is 21 to 22 minutes as compared to Talkville, which covers a show that's roughly 46 or 47 minutes.
Yeah.
And
we understand. We're not like comparing them side by side, saying, "Oh, you have to do exactly the same thing." But I feel like, and we also have to remember The Office. On The Office, the cast, they got to see what the writers did. They got to see.
Well, I'm not even saying that. I'm talking about.
But that's why they have all these relationships with the other people and can ask them all the time. Oh, how did we do this?
Yeah, and the relationships, at least that's been revealed on Talkville, haven't been that good between like Tom Welling and the producers, at least at the beginning, because it took. Jonathan Schneider, who played Clark Kent's dad, to basically tell them, hey, Tom Welling is going to get killed because he's working 12 plus hours, driving home an hour and driving back an hour, and he's sleeping. So he needs a driver so he doesn't get killed. But anyway, I was more so commenting on the length of the show.
Yeah, I know, but they could at least like. I feel like they could at least not feel so rushed through the episode.
It definitely does. And even whenever they bring a guest on, which, they won't be bringing on Allison Mack because excuse me, because she seems to have some other issues. Cue the mugshot here going on. But anyway, it is a good. It's a good podcast. Could be better.
Yes, I hope they're not watching this.
I hope they are.
They're probably not. Also, before we get into our next topic, I just wanted to point out I'm having to hold my coffee cup opposite direction so you can see that it says coffee.
And that clicking you heard was me trying to prevent Hank's tail from... he's like a dog. He wags his tail for no reason.
Yeah, he doesn't know what his tail's for. Because he's not upset.
Yeah.
He's happy.
Yeah, he purrs. I don't know how much of his face you can see on camera, but...
None of it.
No. Well, anyway, so moving on to us, speaking of other cats, how many cats does Stefan have?
2, I think.
My older brother Stefan, he got married, and so him and Lindsay have 2 cats, and we picked up a nice size poster.
You're just going all over the place.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
In August, we took a trip to Wyoming for their wedding, and now you can continue your story, I suppose.
And we picked up on our way back a picture of sorts that has been in Colin's eyes since how long?
I would say maybe since I was 5 or 6.
Yeah,
I don't remember how old. But.
So, real quick backstory: there's this Jean-Luc Picard, captain of Enterprise D and E, and potentially F, but I don't know canon that well. Anyway, is his he had a poster his poster was at this store called Suncoast, and for the last
Well, since I was a young child, I don't know how old, it was on the wall. My mom asked the managers over the years, like, oh, whenever you rotate the posters, I'd like to buy that. And they would always say, oh, well, we're not allowed to sell it. We're not allowed to sell them.
All right, and also, battery died, but that is another annoying orange cat, or AOC, as we like to say. Friendly named after our favorite annoying Congresswoman, AOC.
No, I came up with that before I even knew about her. It was like several years before that.
Well, call it a meeting of the minds, if you will. And we didn't even know it. He's rubbing himself all over the MacBook and probably making a wonderful set of noises. Just hang out here, buddy. So, we were talking about
Suncoast and the poster.
Suncoast,
the
yeah.
Poster.
So, throughout her childhood, she saw this poster, wanted it, and talked to the manager.
Well, my mom did, and they kept saying, oh, we can't sell it, we can't sell it.
Well,
Cue Miles.
Cue Mr. Miles, the mall rat, and I have, I'd like to think that I had a friend in every store of Quail Springs Mall. And one of them being the Suncoast manager. And I was like, oh man, that'd be really cool. And
you probably just annoyed them so much
yeah,
that they gave you what you wanted to get rid of you.
Well, I mean, Are you leaving or are you staying? Or you want to be on camera? Well, we'll keep talking while he's figuring that out. So, all to say,
jump down if you want.
All to say is that I got the poster, and when we met, she learned that I had it, or that my brother had it, And so it was kind of a culmination of events like, oh, we should, get that back because, of how much sentimental value it had. And so, we picked it up and brought it back here, which is really nice. So now it is waiting to be repaired because we got to fix the back of it because it's torn a little, but that's okay. Not the actual poster itself, just the backing with the certification letter or whatever.
Or just,
Yeah. So, that was in Wyoming that it was, and now back in Oklahoma.
A little fun factoid, when we were in Casper, Miles was driving around trying to find a nice place to take my picture because he loves for me to do yoga poses and take my picture. Mm-hmm. and while I was, doing this elderly lady was like,
"Are you guys doing senior pictures?"
She's like, "Are you taking your senior picture?" And I'm like, "No, I'm way older than that." And you just got up and fixed it.
No, I just flipped the camera. Yeah.
And so anyway, and I was like, "No, I'm way older than that." But granted, I had my sunglasses on, so she couldn't see my eyes. But still, I guess just because I'm short.
I don't know. You still look pretty young, even like with or without, your eyes being covered.
Okay.
So, moving along to some our new fans, if you will, is our square dancing.
Well, if you remember, in the past I used to talk about fitness challenges. Well, now it seems like every episode we're going to have a square dance segment. This is our square dance segment.
Yeah, because we started, we thought about triangle dancing. We looked at rectangle dancing. We even looked at polyhexagon dancing. But it came down to square dancing because apparently none of those other ones exist. So, since the beginning of the year we've done it, and this when did we start the angel lessons?
Okay, well, first of all, we are being angels at mainstream.
Meaning we're helping new people learn how to square dance.
Yeah, and that started September 12th.
And so we've been doing that, and there was like a display at the state fair that they wanted, exhibition, if you will, where you show up and you basically dance, and people at the state fair get to watch you, or just roll by you and like, what are those guys doing? And then
and maybe people will ask, and then they'll get involved in square dancing.
Yeah, and so that was fun. And we also went to our first out of town event over in Elk City, which it's an hour and a half away, but it's still out of town. And
it was for a whole weekend.
Yeah, which is nice to get away. Apparently they do events elsewhere, and so it'll be interesting to see if we go anywhere else or if we continue on.
Yes, because honestly, I don't like being away from home that much.
Nope. She sure doesn't. It's like the stereotypical a girl packing versus a guy packing. I was actually surprised at how little you packed.
Oh, well, that's because a lot of my clothes were outside of the suitcase.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the clothes you were going to wear, she had on a skirt. We'll show a picture here of what we look like. It was, she looked much, much better than me. But, so that was fun. And also, there is an individual that, the caller, if you will, the leader of the dance. He is
leader of the dance.
He is, he leads the dance. I don't understand what other way you would say it.
It sounded weird.
I feel like that commentary is more towards, these University of Oklahoma, they aren't leaders, and so why would I call them that? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know. That's not even. It just sounded weird.
All right. So the caller who leads the dance, who makes calls like what you're going to do, and he's a big University of Oklahoma fan, and so I've been harassing him through various photos, alleging that he is wearing OSU clothing, and
Oklahoma State.
is advising Mike Gundy, the head coach of OSU football, which clearly I didn't take much time on this. However, my next picture is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, you're gonna annoy him so much he doesn't want us around anymore.
Well, I mean, 'cause maybe you'll become the caller. Moving on
to our next topic, which is manifest.
Which we've spoken about before.
Probably.
We can't confirm nor deny
But
that.
I'm sure we have.
Yeah.
Comes to Netflix November 4th for their 4th and final season.
Which, it's nice that it's going to Netflix because I feel like it will close it out a lot better than NBC could have.
Yes.
But all in all, it's got the guy who in Once Upon a Time played Prince Charming. And I don't know if there's any formidably recognizable individual.
I think he's the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, it's going to be interesting to see, where the plane originally went. We won't give any spoilers, but if you want to get interested in the first 3 seasons, watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Plug in for Netflix. You're welcome, Netflix. And also, I'm looking at our notes right now, and it says it's misspelled, and I had to sound it out in my head, but then I realized what it was. Our Engageversary is 10 years ago on September 28th, so a week ago and 10 years ago, I proposed to Colin.
Yes, in Wyoming.
And she made the biggest mistake of her life. No, I'm kidding. The best mistake of her life.
I think that's pretty cool that you picked the day that you didn't pick it because you said that you couldn't. You didn't really have anything planned, but you couldn't.
I
wait
never have anything
you
planned.
Didn't wait You said you couldn't wait
I couldn't wait
longer, so you just proposed.
Yeah.
In a driveway, and
not in a driveway.
Yeah, that was the path that cars drive up to a house. So that is specifically.
It was a road with driveway, so it was a regular road. It wasn't a particular
right there next to
driveway.
the house.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, driveway.
No.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Unconsciously, you proposed on the anniversary of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which is very cool to me because since that's my favorite show.
That's a
happy coincidence.
Happy coincidence, yeah. Obviously, it was not a coincidence.
Because you so knew about that.
Yeah.
Today. Yes.
Clearly, but in my defense is I was just so in love with you, like I still am. Because only now it's like as you say that I'm the most annoying person you know, which let's be clear is. I wear that as an honor because I don't want anyone coming, in front of me. I want to be the best at everything I do in life with you.
All right. And finally, our last topic
is...
You know how the last few episodes I've talked about a book?
Uh-huh.
This time I'm
you're asking them, not me.
Yeah. Well, or you. But this time I don't have a book plug because I am continuing to read The Hunger Games. This would be the 3rd time around. And I'm still on the last book because I haven't had a chance to read in like 2 weeks.
Hey, Colin, how many times have you read The Great Gatsby? That's an excellent question, random audience member.
5 times.
5 times. All right.
Yes.
She enjoys rereading books. So... That's
Well,
good because then I get to pretend that, as she'll intertwine things about the books, like if we rewatch a movie attached to it, and then I'll make a comment about, specifically, like with The Great Gatsby, is the scene after the party where the cars flipped over, and that's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And she had mentioned it, and since we watched the movie so much, I could readily identify, no, that's in there. And I don't think you actually saw it
I didn't
until
see it,
the
no, it's so fast.
latest time.
Or the last 2 times
Yeah.
when you pointed it out. But yeah, that's probably a topic for another day, but we've probably talked about that before. How, like, that movie has everything in, like, from the book. Because one time I flipped through the book while we were watching the movie.
We watch it every year on New Year's Eve.
Well, sometimes. That's only, like, the last 3 years we've
Well,
done that. Maybe
kind of
4.
like,
It's
yeah.
kind of a tradition. And then in 2025, we get to do a Gatsby party because it'll be the 100th anniversary of the book.
She's been talking about the anniversary of the Great Gatsby book for at least the last 5 years.
Yeah.
At least. I remember in 2017, she asked me, do you think they're going to have like an
A
anniversary
special
edition?
edition.
Like, yeah, I would imagine so. You even asked about, like, I wonder if they'll, like, be when did you get the sweater? A while ago? You said
It
maybe.
was sometime in Connecticut.
Yeah, I think it was 2017. You asked if maybe they'll have a sweater too. She gets so joyful on that. So
Yeah.
that's nice. But and then rewatching the Hunger Games. Yeah, I think
Movies,
that's pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty
We've
interesting.
been rewatching them after I'm done with the book. And when I get halfway through Mockingjay, we'll watch the first movie because, you know, after Harry Potter broke their last book into 2 movies, well, everybody else had to do it too.
Yeah, well, because it's the cool thing to do.
I know. And then we just add scenes that weren't in the book, scare
Oh,
people.
Like a great example of that is when we started dating, we went to Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, and there's a big fight scene at the end of the movie, and it starts with basically them ripping the head off of a lovable character. And that part isn't in the book. They added it just for a little bit of pizzazz, if you will, in the movie. You know, it has to be a lot of action. And immediately her reaction seeing, you know, this guy's head ripped off is, and she turns to her mom, that didn't happen in the book, did it? It was sheer horror. I mean, it wasn't horror at that, but she was genuinely concerned that she overlooked that, or she had some amnesia episode because of how terrible that would have really been if it was in the book, that she would have just blacked it out.
Well, I mean, they reconciled it, so it's not like they totally went off script, but that, yeah.
Is this the end of the show? I guess it is, because we've covered all the topics here.
Oh, yeah.
But we will continue putting this out if you'll continue watching it, my friends. If you don't
honestly, we'll probably still continue making it if nobody watches it, because...
Well, I mean, the cats watch it. So.
And my mom.
Yeah. And a few other people.
Now,
Who will
they
not
might
be
get
into
tired
it.
of us.
I'd get tired of me, but, you know, that's because I know me. I don't like her getting tired of me. Anyways, before we get too much on a, you know, beating a dead horse. What is it?
Tangent, before we get
Is
off
that like
on
an
a
orange?
tangent. You use that all the time.
You
say that
use all of these big words.
That's not a big word.
All right, tangent. Sounds like, what's that cheese word?
Portmanteau?
A portmanteau. That sounds like cheese. What other words do you use that sound weird?
Onomatopoeia?
What is that? Is that like a
You know what that
clown hat or something?
No.
Anyways, we'll see you next time. I'm Miles,
I'm Colin.
and this is
The Colin and Miles Show.
see you at episode 21.
Bye.
Bye.